Hi, my name is Erik Olsen, and today I would like to introduce myself and tell all of you who are watching this a little bit about this podcast and why we're doing it and what we hope to accomplish. I grew up in Madison, Wisconsin at a time that it was an incredible place. Kids could go out and play, and their parents would just tell them, be home in time for dinner, and they didn't have to worry about the safety of the children or their well being. It would be nice to have that time back. I went to West High School, and after I finished there, I had the opportunity to study at UW-Madison. And at UW-Madison, I eventually completed a master's degree in cultural anthropology, and I also went to law school. After completing law school, I got involved in working protecting people's property rights. A lot of times, what I never imagined but turned out to be true is that the people who work hard, play by the rules, and think that they're going to be taken care of by government, one day find themselves on the wrong side of the bureaucratic apparatus and find that their rights are being violated, if not completely erased, by the methods and attacks of the government. And so we were able to work very hard, and we had a wonderful team, and we were able to, over the years, meet many incredible people throughout the state of Wisconsin and work to help defend their property rights in state and federal court. But in 2022, my wife Sarah and I started to become very concerned, looking at what was going on and starting to realize that something in this country is terribly amiss. And a couple of the things that we really thought were a part of that were, first of all, and this was something that we heard from so many people, was that nobody trusts the news anymore. The mainstream media has basically fallen down on the job and is not doing a good job of presenting facts. Instead of presenting facts, all too often what are being presented are opinions, narratives, and viewpoints with some facts that support those agendas salted in. And that was something that we heard from clients, that was something that we heard from people on both sides of the political aisle, that was something that we even heard from many people who are involved in government, who bemoaned the times when things were clearer, when the news did a better job of presenting facts and not opinions. Later, when I decided to run for office, to run for Congress, I had a very interesting thing that happened at the beginning of that time, which was that I had to go out and collect thousands of signatures. Signatures from people, it was called ballot access. In order to be on the ballot, we had to go out and collect over 1,000 signatures of people who were willing to sign a piece of paper, essentially, asserting that we should be able to have, as a candidate, my name on the ballot. And in getting those signatures, basically what I and the people who were volunteering and helping had to do was go to different events, maybe where people were present, but by and large, go and knock on people's doors and ask them for their signatures to be on the ballot. And in doing that, it actually turned out to be an incredible opportunity to talk to just a terrific number of people who very often were interested in sharing their ideas and viewpoints about what was going on. And again and again and again, we heard the same thing. The news is not telling us the facts. The news is not telling us anything other than their specific agenda, which varies, of course, by the station and the outlet. And all too often, the news is not even telling the truth. So what occurred to me at that time, although we didn't have time to do it in the context of the first campaign because we were so busy with that, was that it would be really a great idea to start a podcast. And it would be a podcast that could give a voice to people who either were involved in the political process, but also people who weren't involved in the political process, people who are just living. What are the facts of their lives as they go through their lives in this district or in this state or in this country? What are they experiencing? How can we listen to what they're experiencing and what they're doing in order to help us all understand the truth about what's going on? And also, are there experts who are maybe willing to come in and talk about the affairs of the state and the affairs of the world and hopefully help us understand from an unbiased viewpoint what is actually going on? Because what I realized was that so many people have a deep concern about the direction that our country and our state are in these days, and they would like to get the facts in order to be able to make their own decisions about what's happening and their own decisions about how they feel about it. And then, of course, support the leaders and the agendas or the initiatives that are consistent with the beliefs that they ultimately decide are true. Lastly, something that is so important and has been overlooked and has unfortunately fallen a little bit by the wayside is civility. In order for us to exercise free speech, in order for us to exercise the rights that we hold under the United States Constitution, we have to, at least to a certain extent, be civil and kind to one another. So what we are going to try to do in this podcast is to lead by example, to try to be nice to each other, to try to listen, to try to understand, but always to speak the truth. Because speaking the truth is important, and by doing it, we uphold that value and we make it possible to carry this country on into something that each generation gets a little bit better. So that's what we're going to try to do, and we hope that you tune in and watch what we're going to present each week or each month as it unfolds, and hopefully you become friends with us, and hopefully you like what we're presenting, and hopefully we provide something that's not only entertaining to you, but also valuable to you. Because a lot of people have sacrificed to make this country what it is today, and now each of us can do just a little bit so that we can pass something better on to our kids and hopefully to their grandkids as well. So thank you and have a great day.